Yes.
It's 9:10 on Thursday, November 1, and this is the regular meeting, Madera County Assessment Appeals Board, also known as the Board of Equalization. Okay, we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. The first item on the agenda is public comments. So if anybody's here from the public wishing to address the board regarding something before the board's jurisdiction, they can come up to the podium now. I'm not seeing anybody coming. So we'll move on to the consent calendar. And there's a number of items on the consent calendar. There's the approval of the minutes for the last meeting. Does anybody have any comments on the minutes? No? A motion then?
Okay, I make a motion that we approve the minutes of our last meeting of October 4th, 2018.
Okay. Then we have a series of stipulations and continuances. Does anybody have any comments on any of those? I'm not going to read each one. It's rather
The
late.
assessor's office has a comment on the stipulation waive time for Mammoth Mountain.
Okay, what's the,
This was signed in August, and I believed that this was already signed and agendized and okayed. I think that one of the issues on this Mammoth Mountain is we need to postpone the hearing again to tie these out, 2016 out with 14 and 15 and get them all on the same date. And as you can recall, I think last month we discussed Mammoth Mountain, and we're waiting on Mono County because Mono County has 96% of the value, and we're waiting on their appeals. Their appeals goes back to 2012. So we're waiting on those folks, and we want to put them all on the same agenda. And I think we're gonna, I think we got them on as of right now in December of 2018. So I'm going to make sure that it's on the agenda for December 2018. And so then we can, if we're going to postpone them for another couple months or whatever, then at least it'll all be all together. And that's what I'm going to do. So that's my comments. But if we have to do the stipulation waive time, then I'm okay with that too.
all I see here on today's agenda is just a stipulation to waive time. And you're saying you have a tentative hearing date set up for it.
Right.
But
In December.
right. But as I understand it, that's contingent upon Mono County settling with them. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and so we don't really have control over that.
No.
But as I understand it, with the stipulation to waive time, we can just sit back and wait for the other
Yeah,
county.
it gives us
Yeah.
time to resolve
Yeah,
this.
yeah, and so I just want to make sure that's our understanding on this thing, okay? Because I don't see a thing on here to set a hearing date, and I wouldn't, you mentioned one, but that's not written in concrete because we don't have the other counties settled yet, right?
Right.
Yeah, so, I don't know. Michael, you have anything to add to that, or is that? No. Yeah, okay.
I have a question. Is there any time frame on this that they can extend for only so long period, or it's unlimited, they can keep on going?
Well, as you can recall, we have outstanding appeals on an outfit called Canandaigua, and we have those years going back to 1995. And so as long as there's an issue, then we probably should accommodate the taxpayer and push it out. In regards to these, we'd like to resolve them within the same year, but sometimes there's things, beyond our control, and we just, can't do it. In regards to this account, we're waiting on Mono County. At some point in time, we're just gonna have to say, we can't continue waiting on another county on this account. Because if you think about it in these terms, what we do is, all we do is basically estimate a value based upon the revenue on this little portion. And we can allocate, instead of 100%, well, then we only get 4, well, then we'll take 4% of whatever the revenue is, and we'll come up with a value. And that's what we've done, and I've sent that off to the taxpayer. Well, they think they can get a better deal with another county, let's say it that way. And that's what we're waiting on.
Can we say that no more extensions allowed?
Yes, you folks have the power to say, okay, we've had enough extensions. In regards to Mammoth Mountain, we have 2014, 2015, now 2016 to deal with. So it's been going on, what's that, 4 years now? Yeah, you guys can say, hey, look, we've had enough of this, we'll give you, one more extension for, 4 months or whatever, and we're gonna hear it.
Okay, we'll
And I
do
think
that
that's
next
what we-
time.
Well, the thing that's different about this case and all of our other cases is that the vast majority of the value is in the neighboring county. And it makes sense that our values and their values somewhat are synchronized. Yeah, I'll call them synchronized. They don't have to be exactly the same, but, and they're the elephant in the room. We're just not. And so
So the same thing.
I'm willing to let this thing continue, indefinitely. In general, I agree with you that, we can't let these things go indefinitely, but on this particular case, I'm comfortable with letting this one go indefinitely.
So the same thing going on with the Mono County, they're giving extensions like we are?
Same thing, yes.
Same thing.
Matter of fact, they just, I think they were supposed to have a hearing at the end of, I think, October, and they granted them another, I think, 6-month extension on it, because basically they're still discussing the values and discussing revenue and expenses and cap rates and that type of stuff. And you gotta, it's over multiple years, and as you know, there was a drought in some of those years, and so, everybody's saying, well, drought, the values, whatever. And so they're trying to resolve it, but it's a big issue. I mean, they're the number one taxpayer in that Mono County, and it's a big issue.
Well, drought is separate issue. I mean, that concerning the value, we could take into consideration. But as far as timing is concerned, to come to an agreement for solution, there should not be any other excuses for drought and things like that. I mean, they have the time to work on it. Why they keep asking for more and more extension, more time?
That's up to you gentlemen. I
Right.
mean, I tell you guys what I know, and then if
Thank
you
you.
guys want to make a decision, to say, hey, we're going to have a hearing, let's do it.
Thank you.
I mean, because it's going to be the same information. I can almost guarantee you that.
Yeah, I mean, there should be some limit to it, a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year period. The they don't want to resolve it, they're just sitting on the issue.
Well, see,
And
that's.
by sitting on it, it wouldn't get resolved.
See, that's what the stipulation of waive time is.
Taxes, though, during that
Yeah.
time, they're paying the taxes, and so it's not, it's not like they're not,
They are paying
They're
as
paying the property
we,
taxes, yes, as it's enrolled now.
taxes enrolled.
okay, but
No, they're not paying on the value they say it is, they're paying on the
Paying
value
on-
that Mono
enrolled.
County says it is.
Okay.
And so that mitigates a lot of it also. I'm just saying, in this particular case, they're the elephant in the room in Mono County, but they're not here. And I would give them the waiver and just let it ride.
Okay.
It would not necessarily do it for something else in Madera County, but for this one I would.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why stipulation of waive time, there's a code section, it's 1604, that basically what we're doing is
Yeah.
the code section tells us that we need to resolve these within 2 years of them filing an appeal. okay?
Right.
When they stipulate the waive time, what they're really saying is, well, we need more time than 2 years, and if we agree, well, then basically we're agreeing to allow them additional time. And they're saying the same thing, we want additional time. And that's why this is here today.
thank you.
And to date, the assessor's office has approved the stipulation to waive time.
Yes.
Yeah, and so I think for this particular case, I wouldn't suggest any changes, just
And
stay the
that's, and
course.
that's why I keep you folks
Yeah,
informed,
yeah.
because I want you guys to know what I know.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Anything else about Mammoth?
That's it, thank you.
Okay, how about any of the other items on there? We got some withdrawals, some stipulations.
The assessor's office just wants you guys to agree to the stipulation waive time on both of these accounts and accept the withdrawals on the other 3 accounts.
Yeah. Any comments on any of them? No? Okay. So I would like to entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar.
I move
We're done there.
approve the consent calendar.
I second it.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent calendar. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. We're on to the item of hearings. Is there any parties or witnesses in attendance who are going to provide testimony on any of the other matters on the calendar today?
There's no one here.
No? Okay. So, all right, in the hearings, we have a lumps of hearings to talk about regarding Canandaigua. So I would prefer just to talk about them all at once. I don't see any reason distinguishing between any of these individual items. Is there? Mr.
I agree, there's no
Yeah.
reason.
Okay. It's not really asking us to set a date, it's just asking us to approve to continue the hearing, and at a later date, we'll have a determination. Now, I got some clarification, I did talk to Sarah about that, and she said that we do have 3 hearing dates scheduled, okay?
Yes.
Yeah, and just to make sure everybody is on the same page on that, I'll tell you what I have on that. I have it as the 13th, 14th, and 19th of December. Is that,
Yes, that is true. And as you know, that we're only dealing with the assessment appeals for 1995, and the
I
assessment
thought we were
appeals
doing
for
one hearing,
1996.
1 day, 1 year.
Right.
Yeah, so-
And we,
And how many total do we have to do?
21 years?
So this would be the first 3 of 21.
Right.
Okay. And are you,
I've got it planned.
you've got it planned?
Not at this time. I'm open.
Well, we need to make sure we have the people here. That's why I'm asking you, or,
Yes,
okay, so you can do it?
yes.
Okay, all right. All right.
Great.
So our 3 regular members are available. We also, and maybe, Michael, I'm recalling, I think we talked about this before, but we would like to keep the same 3 members for all 21 hearings.
Exactly.
Well, that's fine. I mean, that would be great, but it's not required.
Not required, okay, so it's preferred but not required, okay. Okay. Okay,
Yes, and the assessor's office would prefer the same board members here all years too.
Yeah.
Yes.
now, what Sarah suggested was that when we have this hearing and Canandaigua is here, we set the rest of the dates then, because we'll all be here in the same room and we should be able to do that.
And,
Is that-
and I agree. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I really do, yeah.
We got the
Because
first
everybody's-
3 set,
Right.
then the rest of them, we will set at this, probably at the start of the other 3.
That is true.
Okay.
And, we got a lot of, like I said, we got a lot of years to deal with, and, they're going to want some time between the hearing, and then there's going to be findings of fact,
Yeah.
and so it's going to be, months
Yeah.
between them, but, as long as everybody, because our attorney's going to be here, their attorney's going to be here, and I imagine their witnesses are going to be here.
Yeah.
So I think everybody's going to be here and says, okay, we're
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
it sounds like that will work. I'm just
Yes.
saying we're not voting on that particular portion of it. All we're saying here is that we're going to continue it and determine it later, and I'm saying very likely that later will be in these upcoming 3 hearings.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
but we're not going to make it in the thing. So-
Yeah, we're not going to put it in stone, in concrete or stone,
Yeah.
right?
Has the assessor and the taxpayer worked out a schedule that they would like?
We have not, and we need to discuss this with the taxpayers' representative, and I will actually draft a letter to them, and that way then everybody knows what's going to happen in December, and we will discuss those multiple years. And, I think we should be able to at least discuss when we're going to have the next 4 or 5 years hearings. I think that'd be appropriate, So, but I will draft a letter and I'll send it out to our attorneys and their attorneys and say, we'd like to discuss this based upon what the board told me on today. And that way then everybody knows what's going on. Okay, I'll do it.
All right. Any further discussion from the board?
No.
Well, I'd like to entertain a motion on items 5A through 5G. Okay,
Okay, I second it.
okay. It's been moved and seconded to approve items 5A through 5G as written. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Next item, we have a continued hearing for Central Valley Concrete and John R. Lawson. That was a closed hearing, so I'm going to table that here briefly and get through the rest of the agenda before we do that. The next item is a hearing for James B. Walker family, 17R029.
Mike Austin here for the Madera County Assessor's Office. We have been in contact with the taxpayers and the taxpayer's son, and the taxpayer himself has been out of the country, and he just got back like last night or the night before last, whatever. And we do have a stipulation ready to go. We've talked to the taxpayer and he's agreeing to it, but there's no way logistically we can get it out to him, signed and back.
It's
So we're-
basically verbally agreed but not signed, so.
Exactly, right. And so we'd like to ask for a 30-day postponement to December 6th.
Yeah.
2018, so we can get all the paperwork done.
Yeah, okay. Any comments from the board members?
No?
None? Okay. Can I get a motion to continue the hearing to December?
Yeah, I make a motion that we continue the item 17R029 to December hearing.
I second that.
It's been moved and seconded to continue the Walker matter to the December hearing. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Okay. The next item is continue the hearing for Care Fusion to the January meeting at the request of the applicant. Any comments, Mr. Austin?
The assessor's office agrees with the postponement, and we'd like to, well, we're in discussions with the taxpayer, and we've asked them for some additional information, and that's why they have asked for the postponement. And we believe that there's good grounds to ask, to accept the postponement, and we'll deal with it in the next couple of months.
Okay. Any discussion, comments from the board? I'd entertain a motion to continue Care Fusion to the January meeting.
I make a motion that we continue item 17R010 to January 3rd meeting.
I second that.
It's been moved and seconded to continue the Care Fusion matter to the January meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next is a request by Sealed Air. Oh, this says mutual request of applicant and the assessor for Sealed Air to also be continued to the January meeting. Mr. Austin, is that correct? You guys are okay with that one?
Yes, the assessor's office is agreeable to the 2-month postponement. I have been in contact with the taxpayer's representative, a tax agent, and we sent them a 1606 exchange out October 2nd, 2018, and there was an audit done sometime in 2017. They failed to file an assessment appeal on the audit, and it went back 4 years. And now they want to resolve these issues with the hearing for the January 1st, 2017 value. And we asked them for additional information. We're waiting on them to supply the information. And that's where we're at. And we agree with the postponement.
I'm going to recuse myself on voting on the Sealed Air one,
Oh, okay.
because I just finished a job for them.
All right. Well, I'll entertain a motion to continue the hearing for Sealed Air to January 3rd.
Okay, I make motion for item number 17R012 to the January 3rd, 2019 meeting.
Okay, I second. Moved and seconded to continue to January 3. I'll call for a vote, and Mr. Rowe is recusing himself. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next item is a request to continue a hearing for Zlotnick to December. And that also says mutual request of the applicant and the assessor. Mr. Austin, any comments?
Yes, Mike Austin for the Assessor's Office. In regards to Carolyn Zotnick, she is represented by Bradley Zotnick, and it's his sister. And I discussed this value with him, as a matter of fact, last Friday, and he wanted more information on our comparable sales that we've used, and he's in the process of getting some additional comparable sales, and so we're waiting on him to get information to us. We've asked him specific questions about specific things, and he wants to look at our comparable sales, and we going to give him an extra 30 days to look at it, and we had a good conversation last Friday on it. He's looking into it, and we'll give him another 30 days.
Okay. Any discussion from the board?
No.
Entertain a motion to continue.
I move that we continue items number 17R027 and 17R028 until the December 6th, 2018.
I second it.
It's been moved and seconded to continue the Zlotnick matters to the December meeting. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Okay, next item, discussion and consideration to consider hearing for LNP, continue hearing to the February meeting at the request of the applicant. Where's the assessor on this? Mr. Austin?
Mike Austin for the Assessor's Office. In regards to this account, the Assessor's Office did do a 1606 exchange on this account. We mailed it October 2nd, 2018, and we have had emails in regards to this. This is it's at the airport. It's an airplane hangar, and the taxpayer and the agent, which is an attorney, would like to have some more time to review this, review our information, and come up with their own information. And we do not have a problem with postponing it until February 7, 2019, and we may be able to resolve it between that time.
Okay, so the February meeting's okay with you then?
Yes.
Okay. Any discussion from the board members? Okay, entertain a motion to continue this.
I move that we continue item number 17R034 to the February 7th, 2019.
I second it.
It's been moved and seconded to continue to the February meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next item is stipulation of assessed value, and this is Donald Burgess, total assessed value $425,000. Mr. Austin, would you like to speak to that?
Yes, Mike Austin for the Assessor's Office. In regards to this particular account, as you can probably remember, we had a difficult time basically getting Mr. Burgess to agree with the stipulation, and then He suggested us go out and look at the property, and, because there was a lot of deferred maintenance. We were not aware of that, because when we do stipulations, we basically believe that the value and the stipulated value is on a average type of a house, and, you know, there's no major deferred maintenance. And so we went out and looked at it, and yeah, there is some deferred maintenance that we weren't aware of, and so we lowered it a little bit more. And he now is in agreement with the total assessed value of $425,000. So we'd like you guys to uphold the stipulated value of $425,000 for 2017.
Any comments from board members? Entertain a motion.
I make a motion on item 17R024 that we accept the total assessed value of $425,000 as accepted by the assessor's office.
I so moved, or I have seconded.
It's been moved and seconded to approve stipulation of assessed value. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, we have a couple of other items here, not really items, but non-hearing matters for discussion and direction. Is there anything that, you know, someone wants to bring to our attention?
At this time, we have none, but I would like to talk about the staff reports and agenda request. Next one, number 8.
Okay. Okay, now we're on to number 8, staff reports and our agenda request.
Okay, in regards to the agenda request, I believe that we need to put on the agenda the 2019 meeting schedule for both the hearings and for the hearing schedules. I think that Sarah wanted to put it on there. I think she just forgot, but it needs to be on the December 2018 hearing schedule, so I'd like to put that on there.
Yeah. I saw a draft of that in the document package. We got ahead of schedule, so I don't see any reason we couldn't, you know, do it in December. Yeah, so make sure that gets taken care of. Okay?
Thank you.
We now, the only thing left, we have the Central Valley Concrete John R. Lawson closed hearing. So I'm going to suggest that we go to closed hearing. On the Central Valley Concrete John R. Lawson matter, and the board has a motion to consider. I'd like to entertain the motion.
I move to, that we approve the assessor's valuation, including purchase price, sales tax, 10% penalty, and no adjustments for repairs.
I second it.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the purchase, the assessor's valuation. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Is that at $5,880,600?
Whatever your number is.
Yeah.
No adding to it now.
Yeah, too late to add now. And Mr. Chairman, I would suggest the board direct the assessor to have their counsel prepare the findings of fact.
Okay. Mr. Austin, please have your counsel prepare findings of fact.
I will. Mike Austin, I will have the county council prepare findings of fact for your approval, and it will be, the legal term is, what, a proposed findings of fact, I think?
Right, we have to, you will draft them, we will have the final say.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Okay.
We will do that.
And
do
how
we
much
have-
time do
I
they
was
have
going
to
to say,
do?
can you get that to the board in time for the next meeting?
Let's say it this way, I will try hard. I don't know how much time that the county council needs to put into it, but I will try hard to get it to you guys December the 6th.
What is the legal time frame that we're dealing with here?
The provision about findings of fact doesn't have a specific time limit, but I think we should be as expeditious as we can. I think if you get it by the next meeting, that'll be adequate. And at that point, you'll have to, your guy will have to serve a copy on the applicant so that they have a chance to comment on it as well.
Right.
So the
Exactly.
sooner you can get that done, the sooner that
Yeah.
they can
Yeah.
comment and we can get this wrapped up.
Yeah.
I think there's a 120-day
After the close of the hearing,
that we have to have it out.
I think
Yeah.
that's right.
So we will try to do it in 30 days. We'll do it as fast as we can, and we'll copy it to their opposing counsel and go from there.
Yeah. And you will give us what I call the draft. You will also provide that, or are we going to provide that to the applicant? Is it?
have their counsel send it to the applicant's attorney.
Okay.
Right.
So you will provide the draft to both the applicant and us, and how much time should we give the applicant to respond?
Well, I suppose we ought to see how long it's going to take to get the draft in the first instance.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we have your guy invite the applicant to let the board know if he feels he needs additional time to respond to that.
I will do that.
Yeah,
I will do that.
because you were saying it's 120 days to do this, and if you're drafting it, we're reviewing it, the applicant's reviewing it, I see we're going to go to a second draft, that's, you know.
I think it's
and
gonna be
that
60
120
days.
days is getting a little tight, so.
I think we're going to try to wrap it up in 60 days. In other words, we'll try to get it out to them in 30 and then give him 30 to get back. I
Yeah.
think that would be more reasonable, that way then everybody knows where everybody's at.
Yeah. Okay. I think we're to the adjourn. and move on.
Excuse me, I have one question.
Okay.
Mauricio. Is it possible for us to, on these continuous items especially, for us to know what date this item came for the first hearing to the board? And after that, how many times it has come to the board since then? When it came first to the board
Yes.
for hearing, and then how many times we have given them the continuous?
I get that information, but I think that Sarah and Tatiana could disseminate that to you guys on the agenda that would basically
Yes.
say, postpone this day, postpone that date, postpone that date.
Correct.
That way then you guys know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we have some idea what's the history of this item.
Right.
Makes it easy for us to decide. So what I'm trying to do is we should not have like open-ended items that never end.
I agree.
So we have some history that we can decide, should we let it continue or is now getting out of hand, we should put a stop to it. So, but looking at this kind of agenda, we can't tell how long it's been pending here.
Yeah, you guys are in the dark in regards to that information.
Correct, yes.
I know we have it, and I know I get the information, but my staff actually assembles that all the information. I don't, but my
Yes.
staff does. But, we can definitely disseminate it down to you folks. I think that's a reasonable request. I think you guys need that information when you're making these postponements. Yeah, okay,
So-
I will get with the clerk of the board, Sarah Anderson and Tatiana, and I'll ask them for that data, that information to be put on the agenda. It may have to be put on an attachment, not actually on the agenda, but at least we'll have the
Yes,
information.
some info. So I hope, Mr. Chairman, you approve that idea?
Yeah. I have no objection.
I think it's
yeah.
reasonable. I think it's reasonable. You guys
Yeah,
should know that
yeah.
information, yeah, I agree.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I second it.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We are adjourned.
Thank you, gentlemen, ladies, appreciate it.
Yeah.